In J.R.R. Tolkien's original The Lord of the Rings novels, Tom Bombadil is a key figure, but he was cut entirely from Peter Jackson's movie trilogy. Generally speaking, Peter Jackson's The Lord of the Rings films are faithful adaptations of the source material, but there are some notable deviations. Perhaps the most significant change in The Fellowship of the Ring is the absence of Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil is undoubtedly one of J.R.R. Tolkien's strangest creations. The short time in which Tom Bombadil appears in the first book in the trilogy adapted by the movie reveals nothing about his origin. What's clear is that Tom is unlike any human, dwarf, hobbit, elf, or anything else that resides in Middle-earth. Though his powers indicate he could be one of Lord of the Rings' Valar or Maiar, he is neither, even though Tom Bombadil is potentially the most powerful creature in Tolkien's legendarium. Who is Tom Bombadil? Bombadil appears in Tolkien's novel when the quartet of Hobbit protagonists are on the beginning leg of their journey, having left the comfy confines of the Shire. Immediately, Frodo's companions find trouble in the Old Forest, as Merry and Pippin are attacked and trapped by a sentient tree considerably less friendly than the Ents they would encounter later on. Desperate, Frodo and Sam seek help and stumble across an old man who introduces himself as Tom Bombadil. This curiously carefree character effortlessly commands the ancient tree to cease his attack and takes the shaken hobbits back to his home. And this is where the book gets a little trippy. As for who is Tom Bombadil, it's never answered in the books. Rather, his identity is loosely explained through his actions and songs. Along with Tom Bombadil's wife Goldberry, Frodo's group spends several days with Tom, even telling him about their mission and the ring, despite strict instructions from Gandalf to the contrary. Strangely, the ring appears to hold no power over Tom, who doesn't even disappear when he wears it. Although Tom's abilities are never explained, he is described as the master of his realm, and seems able to command the forest to his will. Tom is prone to burst into song at a moment's notice, and his voice appears to have some kind of hypnotic quality that puts both the forest and his hobbit guests at ease. It's implied, though not explicitly stated, that Tom's powers only extend to the edge of his land. Fan theories about Tom Bombadil range from him being there during the creation of Middle-earth to him being a rogue Istari, Valar, or Maiar. The truth is that there's really no exact answer. Indeed, Tom Bombadil has been a frequent topic of discussion among the Lord of the Rings fans, ultimately because Tolkien never confirmed Tom Bombadil's origins or race. However, when the hobbits finally reach Rivendell, Elrond sheds a little light on the character, explaining that Bombadil is one of the most ancient beings in all of Middle-earth, and although quite harmless, has little care for the world outside his own domain. Peter Jackson has explained his decision to omit Tom Bombadil from the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy, claiming that the character's contribution to the Fellowship of the Ring bore little relevance to the overall plot and did nothing to advance the main story. Unlike Lord of the Rings' Istari, to which Tom Bombadil is often compared. In this belief, Jackson is entirely correct, and given that the first film's theatrical version clocks in at almost 3 hours, material certainly needed to be cut. It's also difficult to imagine the Tom Bombadil character working in live action. The chapters in which Bombadil appears not only halt the story's pace completely, but the dreamlike nature of Tom's world feels quite displaced from the rest of the book, more like a pleasing excursion than a vital development of the plot. Published in the 1950s, The Lord of the Rings is often named as a key influence in the explosion of folk culture that followed in the next 2 decades, and Tolkien would often crop up in the music of Led Zeppelin, the Beatles, and a variety of prog acts. Mick Jagger even wanted to voice Frodo in the animated movie. Indeed, while Lord of the Rings, not including Tom Bombadil, is regarded by certain audiences as a mistake, he's more at home in the lyrics of Tolkien-inspired songs than Tolkien's actual work. It would take a very brave, foolish, and/or visionary director to try and interpret Tom Bombadil's book scenes for an audience in the new millennium and beyond. Can Tom Bombadil show up in Amazon's Lord of the Rings prequel? While there's no reason why Tom Bombadil can't appear in the Lord of the Rings series Rings of Power, it's very unlikely to happen. Rings of Power has already received heavy criticism for not being faithful to the source material. and an appearance by Tom Bombadil would only make matters worse. Not only is Tom Bombadil not in the source material for Rings of Power, but showing more of him would remove